Hello! It is like 10 p.m. at night, but I'm just now getting around to being in my sewing room. I mean, I was in here earlier because I was doing my makeup. However, I am ready to actually clean my room and get started because it is finally time to get my sewing project started. I don't think I'm quite burnt out on crochet yet. However, this did take me out. And I know it doesn't match my outfit. My outfit's kind of like more green than anything, but I just finished it, so I want to show it off. And anyways, neither do my shoes. What are those? So yeah, we're gonna start cleaning my room. Let me show you how messy it is because it's so embarrassing. And I think I do have the pattern that I want to work on first ready, as in I have it pulled out. So I'll show you guys that too. Give me 1 second. First, I'm gonna put this in the washing machine along with probably that fabric and fabric that's inside this bag because I want to be responsible and actually clean my fabric before I get started sewing. That's actually important. Go me! Here is a look at the sewing table. Where is the sewing machine, you may ask? It's all the way over here because I didn't have space up here for it. So that's gonna be the first thing I take care of. I think I'm gonna keep this up even though it's not Halloween anymore. I'm gonna keep this up even though it's not Halloween anymore because I like the room a little bit dark. I do have some plants behind here that probably need some attention. Yeah, that one needs a lot of attention. So I'll probably take it out of there so I can get some water. This one too. And then I have over here my makeup area, which is also a huge mess. And honestly, I kind of want to move this over to this side where my fabrics are because whenever I do like outfit videos, this gets in the way. And I don't like that this is in the way because then I have to angle it this way, which when I angle it this way, you can see into this area. And I don't like that. And so I might just move these. And then over here is all my yarns. I know I cleaned this recently. I don't remember if I did that on camera, but I did organize this room recently. Oh, over here are the sewing patterns that are in the queue. The one in particular that I'm looking at is this one because it has a little capelet and I plan on using that. Oh wait, I already said I have that spiderweb fabric that, hello? I have a spiderweb fabric that I want to use as the bottom for this. And then the outside, I think I'm going to use like a white bed sheet. And I'm going to keep it detachable. I was thinking of attaching it to like a jacket or something, but I think I like it this way. So we're going to do that. This is in the queue as well. I mean, everything here is basically in the queue. This is in the queue for like the wood witch, the frosty forest witch. This also is in the queue for the frosty forest witch. This one, I think it's its own separate thing. This one is its own separate thing. And this one's also its own separate thing. So yeah, I have a lot of things in the queue right now, but I'm very excited to get it started. I was putting away my Jingle Bell shawl and I realized that this has been like this for like the last 2.5 months, since October at least. I did start fixing it right now, but this is just a shower rod because I don't know what happened to the original curtain thing. This wardrobe is at least from the 90s, probably the 80s. My mom gave it to me. I just don't have a little rod for all my jackets, so we're gonna fix this right now and then we'll get back to the sewing room because this I would consider part of the sewing room because it is part of the fashion wardrobe. This only took about 1 minute and I always do this where I take a project, let it sit forever because I don't ever want to do it, but 1 minute you can see my scarves, you can see all of my jackets, you can see my little shawl with the bell hanging down because I think that's the only way I'd remember what that is. And it's something I need to repair. I don't know what that is, but I don't feel like pulling it down. My French horn I never play. And then my cute little decorations up there. But done. Back to the sewing room. My favorite thing about cleaning as an ADHDer is that you'll find stuff that you forgot you had. Like, I forgot I had this necklace. I don't know how I forgot I had this necklace, but I forgot I had it. And I also forgot that I made this during Halloween time. It's coasters, but I'm never going to use it as coasters because I kind of think it's ugly. But honestly, I could have made scrunchies and put them in here. That would have been cuter. But yeah, I had this on this table and that's good to see. Now I have a little decor thing to put out. We're almost completely cleared off of this. Thank goodness. I got myself a little mojito as a treat. It's not alcoholic, so just in case you're wondering. But also, remember when I said that I want to move this over here? I don't want to do that anymore. That's too much work. There's too much stuff going on there. I'll just kind of organize it maybe. And this, I have too much. This bag right here, It's all yarns that I've used this year, and not completely used, but used a little bit of, at least. Some of it's from previous years as well, but the majority of it is this year, and I'm actually kind of proud of myself. I know I need to throw that away, but it's like kind of a reminder of how much work I did. Sometimes when you're looking at your stuff yourself, you don't think about like how much that you've actually done because you're comparing yourself to other people. And I wish I was better about it, but like it's ingrained in me, unfortunately, to compare myself to others, and I'm trying to be better about it. I've gotten much better at it. But anyways, that's besides the point. I got a lot of work done this year. I know not everything was for me, and that's a whole different story because I was trying to do like a little Etsy shop for a little bit, and that fell through. I don't care to sell online. It's just not my thing. Maybe if I do like Ko-fi, I'll still do through there. I'm not really trying to like send people over to purchase stuff from me. It's if they really, really want to support me. That being said, I got a ton of work done this year, and I should be proud of everything that I've done. It is December 20th now. No, not yet, because it's not morning yet, but it is December 19th, and we still have like, I don't know, I can't do math, 20, no, it's not 20 more days. We still have a couple more days left of, a couple more weeks left of this year, this month, and I shouldn't like belittle myself for not feeling like I got a lot accomplished. I got so much done this year. I restarted my YouTube channel. I branched out to a whole bunch of other like social media sites. I got a lot of crochet done. I didn't think I'd be this hyperfixated on crochet again for a long time. Like I remember 6-7 years ago, it was like 2014 when I got into crochet at first, and I was really into it, gave up on it because I thought I was terrible at it. And to be fair, it's one of those things where if you're picking something up and you're not immediately good at it, you don't want to do it again. I dropped the hook and yarn for 6 years, and then I picked it back up, made a couple of things, hated everything I made pretty much, and didn't pick it up again for another year. And here I am with tons of work and yarn, like all that yarn. And that's not even including the yarn that's over there. I got tons of stuff done, so I should be proud of myself. Sorry, I went on a ramble, but like that bag is a reminder of how much work I've done this year alone. Because like I said, not all of it's from this year, some of it's skeins from last year, but I did pull some stuff from last year back out and reworked it, and I'm just so proud of myself. Like, the little things, you know? So I remember I was working on these little stars for my star blanket during the road trip, and I decided ultimately I didn't want it, but I still love the yarn that I used. It's very soft, it's very like confetti-y, and I made a lot of them. You know how I was saying that for MegaCon I want to pass out like pine cones and paper cranes and whatever to people I think that are fashionable, or anybody that like for some reason recognize me? I don't think that will happen, but if it does, oh my gosh. I think this would be another like cute little thing. I've already worked on the majority of it. All I have to do is sew it up, and it's not even sewing. It's literally, well, I guess there's a little bit of sewing, but it's just crocheting it up with the white yarn, stuffing it, and then it's done. So I think that's just going to be another thing that I pass out. So that's 3 days of things that I can pass out. I don't plan on passing out too many things because like it's always a fiasco. I'm always like super socially anxious. My best friend actually has to be the one that like says, go to them and tell them that you like their outfit, because I am a nervous wreck. But yeah, so I think this is going to be another good option for passing out things. Now I need to think of one more thing to do. I had the pine cones, I had the paper cranes, I have stars. I don't think I want to do snowflakes. Not gonna lie, lace is annoying. And if I'm doing lace, I want to be able to have it as like an extravagant part of my outfit rather than something to give out for free. No offense, it's just expensive. Well, it's not really that expensive to be honest, but it's just so much work and it's tedious and it's tiny little things. And I am a smaller crocheter. I don't like using the big chunky yarns, but that's a little bit smaller than what I'm used to, so I don't like micro crochet. Lace is a different story. I like the way that lace looks. Maybe one day I'll make a whole bunch of lace for an outfit, but that's like way in the future, and that's like weeks worth of a project because lace is hard. I keep on sidetracking because I don't actually want to do this, but I know I need to do this so I can do the thing I actually want to do, which is sewing, and I haven't been able to sew in months because this table has been too dirty. and I can't work in that condition. I can finally see the table. Woo! This needs to go inside here with that bag of all the stuff I made to sell eventually. This needs to come up. So does that. This needs to also come up. This needs to have a hole cut in it because I want to make these into arm warmer things, but I just haven't gone around to it. And then I should be done with at least this portion of the room. I did kind of organize my yarn. I mean, I got these into a box up here. I did clean out the front room, and I don't want to show that because that was embarrassing. I'm not going to do much more, but I got at least this part done, and that's the most important part. You can tell that Halloween's the last time I really worked on sewing because I still have orange thread, and quite frankly, it's getting tangled up everywhere, so I might just cut it and then just be done with it. But I need to change this. I think I'm going to change it into white because I think the next project I want to work on is going to be a white, like, dress thing, kind of, the batwing thing. I found these up here, and while I don't think I want to bring the Pokeballs just because I think there are sellers and crocheters that sell Pokeballs during MegaCon, I might bring the duckies. The duckies are a little bit cute. I think I still have ducks left over from Halloween, so actually I'm going to put it inside that bag and maybe keep it till next Halloween because the ducks are kind of tedious to do, not gonna lie. It's the sewing, honestly. And it's not really that much sewing, it's just the bills, which I finally said bill instead of beak. It took like 3 months, but it's the bills that get me, and then the eyes and all that. But I don't think this is gonna be a MegaCon one. This is gonna go into my Halloween giveaway stuff. I've been looking for this Sephora lipstick forever, and guess where it was? In my little boo popcorn bucket, because I last wore it to HHN. I think it was the last day. I put it on my lips and then I stuck inside the little boo popcorn bucket, so I didn't have to bring my bag in. And it's been in there since, well, actually November, but it's been in there since then. And I've been looking well, maybe not that hard because I still have black lipstick around the house. But like this one has been my favorite one for the longest, and it's my backup one. It's the one I keep in my backpack, and it hasn't been in my backpack in weeks. So it's going to go straight back into my backpack alongside with this Urban Decay eyeshadow because it's one of those that I use as like a highlighter or like a quick eyeshadow or over my lips when I'm not feeling the black when I go out to do something after work. So they're going both back into my backpack where they belong. This one I might actually buy another thing of it and then keep one inside the house because the KVD is not working anymore for me. I have made the executive decision that is not my business. I will pay it no mind. I pretend I do not see because that is going to be a lot of work. That needs a lot of cleaning. It needs a lot of organizing, and I just don't have the spoons for that. My spoons are for sewing and sewing only. And man, does it feel nice to be in my sewing chair again. I have missed being in this room for things other than just my makeup and showing off my outfit. I keep on forgetting that this little guy's here. I made him in October-ish, and I've never like had a reason to wear him. But today I kind of wanted to look like a zombie. I don't think I'm giving zombie vibes. Maybe like zombie cheerleader vibes at the max. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to put him on today because I made him and I never wear him. I might change my sewing needle today because you are supposed to change your needle after every project, and it took me at least 2 years before I changed my needle the first time. And the only reason why I changed it was because it broke. But I'm going to be better, maybe, because I have a lot of extra sewing needles. I had a lot of passed down needles from my mom, which I'm very grateful that she was a sewist and altercator. I think that's the word. I don't know. Alteration. She did alterations. So I'm very lucky to have those materials on me. But now we're going to start with at least cutting out the pattern. My fabric is done cleaning. Are you proud of me? I got everything. Well, I got a lot of things done in the time that it took to wash and dry. I'm probably going to do another cycle on drying because there's a fabric in there and I don't think it was quite made for clothing. It kind of is, but it's like really thick fabric and it's just not, it's almost close to jean fabric, not quite denim. It's a little bit sturdier than linen. Like it's not as soft as linen, unless it is linen and it's really hard linen. But I have that in there and I don't know how that dries. So I'm going to set it for another cycle while I am taking care of cutting out the pattern. Finally here on my dog bed. cushion thing, whatever, so I can start doing my cutting. I did do a little bit of sweeping before I got started, so that's nice. So it's, I don't know how many pieces this is. Well, it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna cut it out, and then I think that's gonna be it for this night. I'm gonna make this a longer post because I think it's ceremonious to get back into sewing. I've missed it so much, even though I've been the worst about it lately. I think that last project, the Frontier Lady, whatever, that project was very, very difficult on me. It was a lot of learning new skills, and it wasn't something that I was ready to learn yet, although it was exciting to learn. I'm probably not going to use any of those skills again for a long time. It is what it is. It is time to start. Cut. Great news, I only need 3 pieces. It calls for 22, 23, and 24. But bad news is I think they spread it out on 3 different sheets. I've already pulled 2 of the sheets apart. This one ripped. It's not on here. 24 is on this one right over here, if I can show ya. 24. I haven't opened the other 2, but I'll get there. And then whenever I cut it out, I'll show you guys those little parts. The longer I look at this, the more I want to sew it onto a dress. Perfect timing again. The washing machine went off, or the dryer went off. So I think now that all that's done, I'm going to pull out all the fabrics that are in there, show y'all. But let me show you guys the cutout. These are the 3 pieces. And so this calls for a collar, which is this one right here, I believe. But I don't want anything wrapped around my neck because I hate that. It sounds really awful. Oh, neck band is what it's calling it. Neck band. This is the collar. And I just don't want anything around my neck. It's going to pull, and I don't like that. I hate the idea of that. So I really think I might just use this piece, sew it on to the back of a dress, and then have a dress that zips up on the side. This pile is absolutely a disaster. It's all tangled. I have to cut some of the threads because they're tangled up together. They're still kind of wet. And like, I know this is my fault because I knew this was going to happen. But like, also, why did it have to happen? I guess I had to like fluff before I throw it in there. But I also stuck in a bunch of fabrics, and I think that's not normal. But I feel like it's just such a waste to throw only one thing of fabric. Because like, I usually get anywhere between 3 to 5 yards of fabrics every time I buy fabric and buy the bolt or whatever. It's not by the bolt because I'm not buying a whole bolt of it. That's expensive. But yeah, I just at least I know for the future, and I'm still proud of myself for washing these clothes. I'm so proud of myself. I think I made the decision. I'm going to turn this into a bat wing attached to a jacket because I don't have enough jackets, honestly. Well, I don't know. You just saw my jacket closet, but I don't ever wear those. I wear cardigans usually, but I want to get more into heavy duty clothes, and so we're going to use this purpley fabric. Normally every year for New Year's I make a like sparkly dress, and this year I don't feel like making a whole dress. I have too many sparkly dresses. Well, I have 2, and they are messy, and I just don't like to wear them because they lay glitter everywhere. So instead I'm using this velvet, which is like a weird fabric to have, but it's a purpley black fabric, and it's really pretty, and I'm going to use it as like the accent piece. And then I have this black fabric I was talking about earlier, and it's like kind of linen but not really linen. It's heavy duty, so I think it'd be great for like an outerwear thing, and it is going to be like perfect for Florida weather, right? It's going to be lined with maybe the satin fabric. I'm not sure at this moment, but I think either that or lined with this, which I don't think I'd like that idea because I think that fabric right against my skin isn't going to be too hunky-dory. So instead, for sure, I want to use this black fabric and this purple fabric to make this bat wing. There's going to be 2 pieces, so because like you need the lining, the interfacing, blah blah blah. It says cut 2 of each, right? Cut 2. It doesn't say interfacing, but I will be making it into an interfacing, so it's a little bit too big with the length I have right now. But I think what I want to do is I'm going to attach it to this. I don't know if I said anything. I'm going to attach it to this, not this exact one, but maybe closer to this one right here. And I'm going to try to attach it to the top. I might flip the sleeve on the side so I can attach it to the top, or the side so that it fits, like it comes up with the dress. And then, well, it's not really a dress, it's a jacket. And I think it's the closest pattern I have to a Lolita jacket. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Lining it with the satin, maybe. And then maybe make the ribbons out of the satin. I don't know. We'll see. It's supposed to be more piratey. On the back, it calls for like little ribbons on the back. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to put the fabric there. That's where I'm going to put the bat wing. So instead of the D-rings, is what I said? Yeah, instead of D-rings, it's going to be the bat wing. And instead of a zipper in the front, I'm going to make a button, like extender thing, because I just don't like the idea of having a zipper in the front. Like, it just kind of makes it look a little bit tacky to me. I want it to look a little bit more military-esque, more vampire-y. I know it's a pirate one, but like if you don't look at her head, it kind of gives a vampire vibe, maybe. So for now, I'm going to take a break because it is 1 something in the morning. I have work at 9, so I had to wash all this off, take a nap, and then leave the house by 7:30 so I can make it to work at 9, and then hope that I don't have to extend because it is the holiday week. And I'm probably going to have to work harder. I'm trying not to work that hard this week because I know it's going to be really tough on me because I'm a night owl. So I'm going to try not to work too hard. I know the money's nice, but also my mental health is nicer, and especially during this time. So taking a break. I'll be back tomorrow. Good morning. It is the next day. It is 7:20 something in the morning. I'm eating a cookie. I made these cookies a couple days ago. We put a little bit of smoked sea salt on the top. It's so freaking good. I forgot to eat dinner last night, so this is breakfast. But I just finished my makeup. I wish that you could get a better view of this. It's so sparkly, but the light in here is yellow. I am so happy to see my sewing machine on the table and not on the ground, and actually being able to see on top of that table is so nice. So last night, no matter how much melatonin I took, come on, Apollo. He wants to jump up here. You coming? Come on. There he goes. I was thinking instead of attaching the capelet to the dress, which I still want to make the jacket dress, whatever, which might be my next project. I think I'm just going to make it into an actual cape instead of like the little arm cape thing. I'm just going to make it into a circle because it has the neck ring around it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the ×2. So instead of 2 panels of the bat wing, I'm going to do 4 panels. And then on top of that, I'm going to take a panel from like one of my other cape like patterns that I have, or like just measure a strip out so that I have like a buttonhole, because I kind of want to make a buttonhole down. And then I'm also going to make like armholes in it so that I don't have to like fully pull my arm out every time I need to do something, because sometimes it gets cold enough that I don't want people to see the shape of my arms. Eventually going to make something with a bishop sleeve. I think that's what it's called. I can't remember. I haven't been sewing in a while, but I want to make an outfit with a really kind of puffy-ish sleeve, long sleeve, and it'd be kind of nice to like have my arm come out of the armholes. I'm gonna need bias tape, I think. That's gonna be a fun little project. It's gonna be kind of like a pocket, but without the like little pocket hole or pocket whatever. It's just gonna be like a little tiny hole in the seam where I can stick my arms out. It's not gonna give like the nice shape when you're lifting your arms up anymore, which that's honestly okay. I can, because I'm going to add buttons, at least 1 button at the top, I can kind of bring it up so that you can still see like the bat wing shape, but it's going to be fine. Like, I just want like the little curvy angled thing at the bottom. I think that'd be nice. And then that way I can wear with more than just one outfit. The outside is going to be black fabric. The inside is going to be that sparkly purple fabric. And the way that I'm going to line it is going to make it reversible. I was thinking about adding a hood, but at this point I'm like, I wear a lot of berets. I wear a lot of hair pieces. I don't think it's a good idea to put a hood on it. Plus the only hood pattern I have is like a pixie kind of hood. And I just really don't want to do that. So that's the plan for tonight this afternoon. I don't know. I don't remember what time I'm off. Whenever I get home, that's the plan, is come home, cut out those panels, which is going to be a lot of work because the next day I have to work at 5 in the morning, but at least I'll get that done. So that's the plan. It is 3:27 and only 48 degrees outside. I'm miserable. This is awful. I got 3 hours of sleep, but after I woke up from my nap, because it wasn't really a sleep, it wasn't REM sleep or anything, I cut this out. Well, I only cut it out like a couple hours ago, but I only have 2 of the panels done. I measured it up on myself, and I do need the 4 panels. I think it'd be like really cute as a cape, and I'm really happy that I decided to go that way. I do have a lot of this fabric left over. It was last remnant fabric, I think. It was definitely clearance fabric. I think I got it for like total $10 for 8 yards, maybe 6 yards. I don't know. I got a lot of it. So I got really lucky with that. I will probably cut some more tonight because I will be off at 1:30 and traffic shouldn't be bad since it's 1:30. When I come home, I'll probably take a nap, eat a little bit, and then start working on it because this is so out of my time frame thing. This sucks. I hate being up this early as a wake up time. I'm still not like asleep. I didn't go to sleep. I got to work mega early because I'm not used to what it's like to drive to work this early. I'm used to like sitting in hours worth of traffic. Not hours, I'm exaggerating. But I want to tell you what's on my mind. Lately, I've been watching the Finn McKenty drama on alt commentary music YouTube. And to be honest, I've kind of had a bad taste for him. Let me turn off my car. It's a little bit loud. I've never like been the biggest fan of him. I did start watching him when I started breaking from my normie phase and wanted to get back into like alternative music. So he was very informative, but like it always felt like he was reading off of a script, which turned out to be true because he was just reading Wikipedia, which is fair. Like honestly, if your job is to make content about music and it's music that you don't really care for, fine, whatever, make your bag. However, he's burning his bridges. That's a whole different story. I think the reason why I started having a bad taste in my mouth for him was specifically his take on scene. And to be fair, almost everybody has a bad take on scene, especially if you weren't in the scene of scene kids. Like you don't really understand what being a scene kid was. So scene is like a break off of emo. And emo is like, they kind of formed at the same time. Scene was just like an insult. I think I was called emo a lot because, I mean, we all look the same, except for scene was the colorful emo. A lot of people are like, oh, but emo and scene are the posers of the emo kids. They just went to the shows and they didn't actually like listen to the music, which is also true. Scene was just like a big overarching thing for the community of the cringe kids. Like emo was cringe, but like not the kind of cringe that scene was. Scene like had a lot to do about being online. Emo kids were online, but scene kids were online. So one thing about being seen in emo back in the day, back in the 2000s, we took a lot of inspiration from J fashion. And a lot of people don't mention how integral J fashion was to the look, because a lot of people like saw a couple people start doing it because we were getting like fed J fashion information through the internet, and then it just started spreading. One thing I would say is that scene felt more like it leaned towards J fashion and more alternative music. Like we did listen to a lot of the same. I think Finn's take on scene, and a lot of people's take on scene, if they're just reading off of Wikipedia, is that they just listen to like, I don't know, Blood on the Dance Floor, and most people don't mention Millionaires, and they were very important for the scene community. They also mention, I want to say like, not MCR, because I think MCR did fall under like the emo category, even though a lot of emo like purists will say it's not emo. Bullet for My Valentine, I think they would say. Pierce the Veil, I would say. Sleeping with Sirens, they would say that's all scene. But like scene was so much more than just the screamo music, right? Scene was internet core. Scene was happy hardcore. Scene was EDM. We were like the cyber goths of the emo world. Like
in a way, like, it's hard to explain what scene was because it was a big branch, and right now the scene community is like starting to branch off, which is kind of cute to see. You know, there's longevity in the culture, in the community, because it is starting to break off. I am grateful to be a pioneer, not gonna lie, but I don't think that people would look at me and be like, oh, she's a scene kid, because I was like, I don't dress like a scene kid typically would, because like now there's like branches of like scene core and scene, I don't know, I dress however I dress. Like, that's what scene was. It was like, you had tight pants because that was popular and easy to get. You had those studded belts because that was what popular and easy to get. A lot of us wore like oversized neon bright jackets. Like, I wish I still had my MySpace pictures, because I have a lot of like bright colored outfits, because that's what scene was to a lot of us, was the brightly colored emo kids. But now I feel like I fall more under J fashion than I do American emo scene fashion. I do still take inspiration from emo and scene and goth fashion, but I think, well, I mean 1940s too, but I've been straying further and further away from that. But anyways, getting back to the Finn McKenty thing, like, it's kind of wild seeing how many people relied on his information. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, having him talk about the Wikipedia article and explaining things was easier for me, just because I don't like reading that often, and I feel bad. Like, I'm not a reader. I grew up in Florida. We didn't learn how to read down here. I am somebody that's been trying to content create since like 2006, since like YouTube started, and I've dipped my toes in so many different like genres. I've tried to do skit comedy. I was really into Ryan Higa as a kid. My Chani, like all the Asian influencers. Back then they weren't called influencers. They were just posting videos because they were having fun. I dipped my toes into like prank videos, but not like the destructive prank videos, but more of like our senior prank was going around and wearing a Pac-Man and Blinky outfit that I made out of cardboard box and duct tape, and just chasing each other around the school. Even though most people skipped senior day, which that's pretty typical, we just ran around the school wearing Blinky and Pac-Man box, just running. That was fun. So I dipped my toes into that. I've dipped my toes into historical fashion and historic music, and like none of those stuck. This is the only thing that stuck for me, is vlogging, because I'm literally just telling you guys how my day is. A lot of people get onto YouTube to make money, and like I think that was my issue for a long time. I tried to become popular. I'm never going to become popular. I was about to start dropping F-bombs. Like, I am autistic. Like, I am ADHD. I'm very neurodiverse. I'm never going to become popular. That's just not something that's in my radar. And I need to be okay with that. And I think most people need to be okay with not becoming popular, because they're going to burn themselves out. I'm not saying that Finn McKenty is neurodiverse. I don't think he is. I think he just stepped into it to get money off of it because he was a marketing person. And once he made his bag, he's like, dip it out. Seeing that reminds me that it's okay to grow slowly, because I think he grew pretty quickly, especially in the 2020 time period when alternative music started getting really popular again. And then also when nobody had anything to do, so they were just watching him. So this is a good reminder to myself to keep on doing what I'm doing. And I know I'm being really sappy this whole entire video. I think it's just a really good time for me to keep on chugging the way that I can, slowly and surely, and not try to become more than I can handle. I see that he's getting like frustrated, increasingly more frustrated, because he wants to talk about topics that he knows is not going to make him money, and that's his issue. He wants to make money, but he's not going to be able to make the kind of money that he can talk about the things that he wants to. Like, who cares? Who cares if you're not making money? Like, I mean, that's his job. I have my job. I'm sitting in the parking lot waiting for it. I myself need to be okay with the fact that I'm probably never going to make money off of here, and that's okay. Anyways, all that being said, I think he just got tired of the specific music genre that he was part of. I remember watching some videos. I'm like, he's not into this music like he seems like he wants to be into it. I don't remember exactly who he was talking about, but he was talking about a certain genre or like a certain artist that was in a way different field than most of the music, like Bring Me the Horizon. Like he's normally talking about music like that. Having him talk about a different artist that was like vastly different from Bring Me the Horizon, I was like, okay, think the guy is getting tired and burnt out of this. So don't ever meet your idols. I think that's the moral of the story. And also don't get onto social media trying to make money, because you're going to burn yourself out and you're going to hate your job. I'm sorry, but I'm on Instagram and you can chat with AI bots, and the one I got was Severus Snape. Like, what the fuck? Like, I was gonna try to not cuss this whole entire video, but what the hell is that? Ew!
I've got terrible news. So the fabric I was going to use as like the under part of the wings, this one right here, this pretty fabric, I can't find it on Joann. I can only find the black version, and I ain't buying 5 yards of it because it's expensive. It's $10.49 per yard on sale, and I just don't feel that's the right call, especially when I have so much fabric in my stash right now. I don't know what to do. I'm a little bit nervous. I really wanted this sparkly fabric underneath. I just don't have enough, I don't think. Like, I think I bought 3 yards of this, and I think with the black fabric that I'm using right now, that one was 5 yards. I don't remember what I said yesterday. I'm at the very end of the bolts. Well, not the very end. I have about 1.5 yards left, and that's really sad because I thought this was going to be a really pretty project, and now I'm just like, man, I don't have it. It says I need to cut 2, so maybe I'll just leave it as is. I wanted to make it reversible, and maybe I have another fabric inside the house somewhere. I mean, I definitely have fabric inside the house, but I don't know what would look good. I have a purple fabric over there because I want to be purple. I also have creepy cloth over here that might work too, but I don't think that's the vibe I'm going for. I really wanted the glitter! Like, where's the glitter? So, at this point, I'm gonna try to see if it works out. If not, then whatever, it is what it is. I have that white fabric. Maybe I can line it with the spiderweb fabric, but like also that's not really the vibe I'm going for either. Oh, this is so frustrating. I don't know what it is about pets sitting on your fabric, but it works out because he's kind of holding down the fabric so I can straighten it out. Now he's not. Now you're just being a brat. Sir, I moved you over there for a reason. I need the space, please, please. I think I have it figured out, so I'm gonna cut it this way, and then this one I'm gonna flip it, like turn it around and cut it long ways down here. Sir, are you coming to help me cut my fabric? And then when I get to the other 4 sides, or 2 sides rather, I'm gonna flip the fabric or the paper over, and that way I can have a back side. So I think I have it figured out. I think I have enough fabric. I think we're gonna be okay, Apollo. We're gonna be okay. Wish me luck, y'all. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous because we can't get this fabric back. Mister, please, every time I talk, you do not, it's not an invitation. Look at him! Look at him! What are you doing? What are you doing? After a few frustrating hours, it feels like, I finally have all the fabric cut out. So it's supposed to be a lining, right? And I think what I want to do is I want to sew the black piece by itself and then this glittery purple, hello? This glittery purple fabric together by themselves, and then I want to attach them like a proper lining and then sew down the seams. It's a really ugly cut, not gonna lie, but seams are hidden and I can cut them on the inside. It doesn't matter. I am not somebody that works with stretchy fabric very often, so this is going to be a second or third. The last time I worked with like a knit fabric, it curled up and I gave up on it. So this is a good move. I did have quite a few, like maybe 1.5 yards of fabric left of the purple, which is a great surprise for me. I might make some like puffy sleeves using them. I don't think I have enough for a whole blouse. I might, but I doubt it. We're gonna listen to music. Oh, by the way, I've been posting on Lemon 8 lately just because like the scare of losing TikTok. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, if they get rid of TikTok, they're getting rid of everything on ByteDance, but I don't think our government's smart enough to know the difference. I would say right now, Lemonade is not a good like search thing unless you're not planning on listening to music. I listen to music pretty often. It's just kind of, that's what I do in my pastime. And when I am scrolling through Lemonade, if there's a video that pops up on my feed, it stops the music. Each and every time I press play, it stops the music. And when I leave the app, the music doesn't automatically play again. And I think that's a really bad feature as somebody who is very music driven. I am somebody that's going to miss TikTok for the music. And I know a lot of people use TikTok for other things, but I've learned about a lot of musicians, a lot of local music, a lot of different kinds of music through TikTok. And Lemonade is not that. Lemonade is literally a place for creatives. Recently, I posted a video of my fingerless gloves. I just posted the long form version of it. I'm not expecting that to take off. However, every single social media site that I've posted on, YouTube, Instagram, Lemonade, and TikTok, 3 of them got almost 1,000 plus views. YouTube specifically has over 1K, which like that's big for me as somebody that doesn't get very many views at all, any traction at all, because I just don't post on trendy music and I'm not really good at editing. That's huge for me. Insta has over 500. Lemonade, I think also at this point has over 500. I don't know, but I got a lot of views on Lemonade. TikTok is still sitting below 300. I will say Lemonade is very, very good for creatives. I've gained a lot of views there. So I think if you are a creative person and more on the feminine side, because I haven't really explored Lemonade, I'm not gonna lie, it's just not my thing right now. I will say it's a good place to start posting. So anyways, I think I might take a break from this for right now, just because I haven't really eaten. I eat breadsticks and I think I might be lactose intolerant. I'm gonna eat something else and then maybe get a little bit of Infinity Nikki on, which I feel bad for. My husband fixed the game for me and I haven't actually played it since he fixed it. Spoiler, Raggy makes me cry. So it's not really that much of a spoiler, but I cried because of a Raggy scene and now I'm scared to play it. So, but I might play a little bit of Infinity Nikki and then we'll pick this back up tomorrow before work because I work at 3:15 and normally I wake up early, especially since I took a big old nap today. I'll probably wake up a little bit early to like at least pin the pieces together. Hi, it is the next day, whatever day. Today's Monday, I believe, and I am ready to have a full day of sewing. I have today and tomorrow because I think what I want to do is get this project done by tomorrow evening at the very latest. I want to go watch Nosferatu in theaters with my best friend, and we're gonna watch it tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Christmas Day. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I want to have that outfit ready. Well, it's not a real outfit, it's just cape. I don't know what I'm gonna wear underneath it. I'll figure that out tomorrow probably, or the day of. But I really, really want to have the cape ready. And I think I can get it done. I think that I want to add like a collar piece to the cape so that it doesn't like just sit on top because that's kind of boring. But I think I can at least get the lining and the outside done and sewed together. Maybe get a collar piece sewed apart. I think we have this. I think we can do this. I have faith in myself, even though I haven't sewn in like 2.5, 3 months. Also, yesterday I had the worst migraine. It was so bad that like I was really nauseous. I came home and immediately went to bed and I was like shivering the whole time. I think I might be getting sick. I hope not, because I really want to go watch Nosferatu. But if I am, I will try my best to take a lot of vitamin D, and like, do whatever I can to eat lots of soup and keep myself and my body warm, because when I'm sick, I'm sick. So let's get started. I'm gonna maybe start eating a little bit because I didn't eat at all last night because sick. But yeah, we're gonna get over there soon. I just finished watching a random goth couple's interview with Dusty from Vision Video, and I really enjoyed that interview because like it was really like quick paced and very fun and informative. I love Dusty's vision on a lot of things. He's pretty people based and I love that. I really love that he uses his notoriety, I guess that's what it's called, or his fame, to spread awareness to like issues that are happening with like the common people. And it's good to see people use their power in that sort of way. What I really love though is when they were talking about like being goth and what it means to be goth and all that jazz. This happens with every single subculture. The younger generation's always kind of gatekeep in a way, and like, yeah, it should be gatekept in some aspects, but one of the big gatekeeping things that I keep on seeing is like, you're not goth unless you only listen to goth music. And it's just like, there's just so much more to being goth. One of the things about being goth is being alternative, being different from the societal norms. And I don't dress in all black all the time, and I'm sure people are like, oh, there's no way she's a goth. But like, I mean, even then, like, I think I talked about it earlier, I still pretty much identify with being a former scene kid, but we all eventually like kind of grew out of it. I was in like the original like thing of scene, and I remember what it's like to be made fun of, not just throughout the societal norms, but also from the emo kids, because we weren't emo enough. And that's the thing, like back in the 80s when you were being called goth, it was kind of like an insult. And I know they were talking about it a little bit, about how like most goth bands don't want to call themselves goth, and it's the same thing with emo bands. Most emo bands didn't want to call themselves emo because at that time it was just not socially acceptable or accepted in general to be called those things. And I think that's something like younger generations are forgetting. No offense to them, because they are new to the scene. We're just a lot more accepted nowadays, and it's good to see. Like, I remember I keep on seeing these things about how people are like, oh my god, it's crazy that it's so normalized to look goth now, and I hate that it's normalized. And as me, who keeps on ending up in these communities that keep on getting dogged on, I love that I'm finally being accepted for something. Like, it's difficult, yeah, because like it's one of those like, you already feel ostracized, what's one more step? But yeah, I just really love when people talk about like what it's like to be active in the community. I wouldn't say I'm active in the community. I'm around it, but I never go out to local communities because I have social anxiety. I'm pretty introverted until you get to know me. That's just how ADHD works, I guess. That's another thing too that's like gatekept, is like, if you're not at your local goth club, then you're not actually goth. And it's like, well, my local one is all the way either in Orlando or in Tampa, and I'm making that drive to be out there for 2 hours and then come back when I don't feel like I'll be like socially ready to do something like that. So I don't know, I just really enjoyed that interview. It was a really cool interview, and I kind of wanted to talk about that before I keep on going with this. I'm not sure how well this will show up on camera, but here is one side, here's the other side. I told you this was going to be a really bad cut job because I just wanted to rush through it. I know it's my fault, but I can adjust. That's the thing, sir. I was showing them, and so like, it's not too bad up here, but it's down here that's the issue, which either I cut that now or I wait until I attach the lining. But I think I might cut it now just so I can get that out of the way. This is a really bad cut. Ugh. But that's okay. I will start measuring from down here up, because this isn't too bad down here. It's just up there that's really bad. That's fine. I guess I'll sit over here on the cold hard floor because Mr. Apollo decided to take my seat. But to be fair, that is a dog bed, so my bad. But also, like, sir, there's literally anywhere else. There's a whole bed, there's a whole sofa. We literally buy furniture for the dogs. Okay, that is for dog furniture. However, I was using it. Sir, Mr. Poo-Poo, how dare you? This cut wasn't as bad. I think I messed up the neck though, but I think the reason why I don't care how bad my cuts are is because I'm just gonna hide them underneath. The seams are where I give myself allowance to just be as ugly as possible, and then I can just cut it as needed when I go along, just because like it's not too big of a deal to me. I know some people are like absolute perfectionists about this. I don't care. This is not being sold. This is for me only. If I want to sell it, maybe I'll start caring, but I just don't see myself selling something like this anytime soon. So we'll worry about this when we get to it. I I feel like I did mess this up. But if that's the case, I know I can cover it up because I'm planning on adding a collar. If anything, I'll cut the other collars to look like this, because I think when I put these together, the collar, like the neckband size, just didn't look like it was big enough for me. So either way, I think that this is something that I will be working on anyways. So now it is time to get to my sewing machine after 2 months. It's actually only been 2 months. October, like mid-October, is about when I finished my last sewing project, which was that cowboy outfit or top. And I haven't touched my sewing machine since. It is 2 days before Christmas. I am touching my sewing machine again and hoping to get this project done for Christmas. And I know it's not a Christmassy thing, but I don't really celebrate Christmas anyways. I kind of want to start getting into Yule, but I also don't believe that I'm a witchy person. I'm just goth. So I just realized that I sewed down the center seam, and it's one thing for it to be on this because this is cotton, I believe. It's another thing to be on this, which is like some kind of velvet, and I'm so scared because the last time I worked with a fabric that was unique like this, I completely tore it apart trying to rip the seam. So this is gonna take me a good hour, I feel like. But I guess it's okay because like my best friend just informed me that there's like no availability for movie times for Christmas Day, which that sucks. And oh well, I guess it's what I get for waiting till last minute to want to book. But we made a mistake. Everything's a mistake. Ah! Here I am so far. I think I might, at the end of the day, sew these two corners together. Hold on, right here. Because I think it'd be cute to have a little arm sleeve. But honestly, I don't think I need it because that already pulls a arm sleeve as it is. Oh, I'm so excited to get this project done. Okay, I think I need to add like a little buttonhole thing. This is wide enough that it's okay the way it is. I don't need to add like a whole button down thing. I just want one so I can hold it together here. It's going to make the collar look a little bit better, but it's cute. It's cute. It's cute. Can I call myself a sewist? Yeah. Can I call myself a good sewist? Absolutely not, because I sewed on the wrong side. So this is on one side, and then the shoulder seams are on the other side. Like, 1, 2. Luckily, this is easy. I can fix it. I have time. But Lord help me, I am so bad at sewing. This is why my projects take way longer than just how long they're supposed to. Okay, actually, I have a video. I posted it 2 years ago, but it popped up on my On This Day on TikTok, and it was basically a I didn't know I was ADHD thing. I was slowly figuring out that I was ADHD, but I wasn't quite diagnosed yet. And I gave up on a project because it didn't turn out the way that I wanted to, and I kept on messing up. It's a good memory in a bad way, or it's a bad memory in a good way. As in, like, I know that I am not terrible. I am not bad at things. I just have certain learning curves, and it's okay to work around it. That is okay for me to mess up. It is okay for projects for me to take a little bit longer. Absolutely fine. And I shouldn't be harping on myself for it. I shouldn't be mad at myself. It is okay to make mistakes. So I hope this is a reminder for you, if you are watching this and you're also a sewist or a crocheter or any kind of fiber artist. It is okay to mess up and pick your seams or frog your project. I don't know much about knitting, but frogging your knitting, I guess. It is okay. It is so okay to mess up. Go back and redo it. It might take you longer, but that is okay. Nobody's rushing you to get a project done. Yeah, you might want to have deadlines for yourself, but it's okay that that deadline is missed sometimes. And I don't think I'll miss this deadline. However, there are deadlines I have missed because I've messed up so often. But that is okay. Give yourself some forgiveness. Let yourself be a person. Everybody's capable of mistakes. And you're not stupid for making a mistake. I am not stupid for making this mistake. It's an easy fix. Don't get mad at yourself. I just finished watching Jemmy's video on persona style as opposed to personal style. And it had me thinking, do I have a persona? I don't know, because like I haven't really put my personality out online since like 2020. And then I suddenly stopped posting talking videos on TikTok because I just didn't feel comfortable putting my voice out there. And then recently, of course, I started posting on here, and I don't know what my persona is. Like, every day is a little bit different. I don't know what my personal style is because every day is a little bit different. I love fashion and I love a lot of different kinds of styles. It's really hard to explain what my style is. I talked about it a little bit yesterday at work, and it was because my leaders, they brought in butter cookies, and I asked if I could keep one of the empty containers for my grandma hobbies. And the leader that was there that day was like, "Oh, are you like into grandma core and like your house is all grandma-fied?" I'm like, no. I happen to dress in 1940s fashion, but I do have grandma hobbies. And like, it's weird to talk about it that way because like one of my coworkers was like, "Oh, I assumed like anytime I look at you, you're into fashion, but that's not the fashion I assumed for you." And it's like, yeah, I mix it with goth, but that's not entirely it too, because like goth isn't just one style of fashion. There's so many facets of goth fashion. And I also, it's hard for me to talk about it, but I am also really into Japanese fashion, and it's really such a weird, unique take. And like, the goal was never to be unique. I mean, yeah, it is, but like also I still like want to form a sense of community with other people, but when I post on J fashion communities, it's a little bit weird because like I don't think I'm quite accepted in J fashion. Same with goth communities. I don't think I'm quite accepted in goth communities. 1940s, like I used to be when I was just doing pure, true 1940s fashion, and nowadays I've strayed so far from it that I think the only 1940s portion of my fashion is probably my hair. Every now and then I'll reach back into my 1940s closet and wear something from like inspired from the 40s and makeup from the 40s, but my makeup is just, I don't even know what my makeup style is, to be honest. It's emo scene, who knows? I don't know what my persona is. I don't know what my personal fashion is. I think my base fashion is 1940s because I fall back to that very, very often. But like, I don't think it reads as 1940s fashion. I think the discussion around personal fashion dying and what Gimme was saying was that it's never been alive in general is because it's not marketable. And I really agree. I know what started this whole entire conversation was Mina Lay's video, and I think I may have talked about it before. And I used to watch her all the time, especially since she was like really kind of delving into the vintage community, 1920s specifically, I think. And like, she took a lot of inspiration from that. I don't see evolution of your style as your personal fashion dying because my style has changed so many times. I'm 32 years old. I was in the nu metal mall goth fashion. I was in the emo fashion. I was in the scene fashion. I was in the pastel goth fashion. That's another thing that I fall back to a lot is pastel goth. I don't know if it's a me thing, but I think having one set style as your personal fashion might just be like a kind of hyperfixation on a certain thing. But I think everybody's fashion changes all the time, and it doesn't have to be a trendy fashion that changes. Like, you can have your style change a lot and still feel like more in a certain community. It's an interesting conversation to have. And like, I really liked her take on having boring fashion doesn't make you unfashionable. Like, it's whatever you're comfortable in. And I very, very much agree with that. It's what I'm comfortable in. I wouldn't say my fashion is boring, but there's a lot of people out there whose fashion is quote unquote boring to me, but that's their fashion. So I think I need to be more accepting of other people and their fashion. I know I've had this thing out for Lululemon, but it's basically because at work we had like this huge Lululemon craze, and it made me sick physically. And I just had a grudge on it. And especially since the only people that like really make fun of me IRL are people in Lululemon. It doesn't happen often, but it's happened often enough that I kind of like hold a grudge on them. It's not on purpose. Like, I need to stop doing that. But I think we should all be accepting of other people's fashion, even if it's not your style. I think that's what makes fashion so great, is that anybody can wear fashion and still have very similar values. For the most part, unless you're into like fast fashion, that's a different thing. Don't be into fast fashion. That's lame of you. So now this part is done, the sparkly bits. it is a sin how truly wrinkly this is. So I need to iron this down and then iron down the seams. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the lining onto the spiky bits. And then I'm going to just like attach around the edges, but I'm going to miss the neck area because that's where I want to add the collar. I was thinking about adding a hood, but the more I think about it, the less I want to do it because I want to make this a truly reversible top or robe. I think I could make it reversible as a hood, but I also don't believe I have enough fabric for that. So maybe next time. If I make this again, I might make it in the white, which I wanted to do in the first place, but black is just calling me right now. And so we're going to iron this, then we're going to sew it down, and then I'm going to sew down the seams so that I can like make sure it doesn't slide around and give too much friction, because one of my least favorite things about the winter is the fact that I get shocked on everything. That's another reason why I didn't want to make the white one, because all I have in white fabric is that spiderweb fabric, which isn't truly white because there's gray on there, and bed sheets. Bed sheets have really bad static electricity, and maybe if I like sew in dryer sheets, it might not be that bad, but I'm not willing to put in that effort. We're going to iron this, sew down the seams, and then I'll meet back with you when I start cutting out the collar piece. Everybody talks about losing yarn or bobbin chicken, but I won pin chicken. I won pin chicken. I use every single one of my pins to hold down these edges, because I am planning on sewing over it so it doesn't like static, you know? And then I did mention earlier that I was going to sew down the seams to each other so that it's less static that way as well. I haven't seen the bottom of this in years. I don't know what all of this is. I do know I got this from Spencer's. It used to have a little moon on it, and it used to be easy to carry everywhere, but no, it's missing. I don't remember where I put it, but I kept it for DIY purposes. Anyways, I'm going to go get my earplugs because both of my switches died, and I no longer have anything to watch. And my phone doesn't, like, I don't want to watch YouTube on my phone. So I'm going to go get my earplugs and probably listen to Zemeth, because I've been like, my head is playing Zemeth right now, and I really still love Zemeth, even though I'm in like a huge synthwave, dark wave mood. I've been listening to that for like the past week and a half, and I'm kind of not tired of it, but I just want to listen to something different right now, a little bit more metal. So we're gonna go listen to that, and then get back to working on this, eat some eggnog bread pudding, because my husband made some a couple weeks ago, and it's still good, so yeah. Good evening. So I finished stitching it all together. This is a detachable collar. I've had this since I went to Salem in 2020, and I've never used it because I literally don't have anything to wear it with. It's purple on the underneath, and I'm not really the biggest fan of like Bride of Frankenstein and all that. I mean, I kind of like it falls under the categories that I do enjoy, but I feel like a poser when I say I like it because I just like the aesthetics of it. And so what I was thinking, to make this truly a reversible robe, because that's basically what it is now, I'm going to put a collar piece on it, just like a regular like lining collar piece, and that way I can add like a little button or whatever, so I can like attach in the middle. And then I'm going to take this as a basic concept and make a collar, detachable collars, because like I've always wanted to make my own detachable collars. I know that there's crochet versions, but I've wanted to sew my own for the longest time. This is a good concept. This is a good base. Oh, what I'm going to do is like take this, trace out the pattern, but like go an inch or something out for each like section. That way I can make it my own. I love the shape of this. I really, really love the shape of this. I want to be able to wear this with this collar or with this robe and like make it reversible. The inside looks really good with the black, so I'm going to have black as the base. The outside of this can be one where I can just use it multi-use, because like that's the thing, I like making clothes I can wear for multiple occasions. And like if I flip it over, I think the only occasion I can wear it for is like, I don't know, purple based outfits. Whereas if I have it on the black side, black is a great base for anything. So I think this would be a great like little way to get me into learning how to make my own detachable collars. Let's get started. So what I've got going on right now, I took some of my old like bias tape, and then I sewed it, or I'm going to sew it I cut it and I'm going to sew it down here to make like little buttonholes. It's just going to be like a little attachments. And then after I sew that on, I'm going to do sewing around here and then flip it so that you won't see where it's sewed on, and then that way it can attach to buttons, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm going to sew it to the neckband of the cape. That way I can hide the neck because it's really, really bad. I knew it was going to be bad, but I didn't realize it was going to be that bad. You can kind of see it, but like right here, really bad. So that's what's going to end up happening. I'm going to use this to cover it. This is actually the pattern from here that was supposed to go around my neck, and I hope that it's not too tight. I think it will be fine if I do this. Yeah, I think it should be fine because I have the buttons, and then I'll attach actual buttons on this side. I don't know if I have any like decorative buttons. I don't typically buy decorative buttons. It's kind of hard to source when you go to Joann, and I haven't been to a thrift store in a while, so that's what I'm going to do next. And then we'll move on to making the cape collar, whatever thing, detachable collar. So I've got the collar piece on along with the button, and here are the little buttonholes. Admittedly, I shouldn't have done this one, but it's alright. Like, maybe if I need a tighter for some reason, somebody else has a smaller neck than me and wants to borrow this, sure. But I should have only went with this one. It's alright though. Like, nobody's gonna see it underneath the collar. And admittedly, I don't feel like making the collar this week. I kind of want to put it off till next week because I just want to get this put out there because I'm just so proud of having this done. I will do a try on. I think we're going to be able to watch Nosferatu. We're going to be able to see it at 12:30 on whatever day Christmas is. What day is that, buddy? Is that tomorrow? No, it's 2 days from now. It is the next day, and great news, we're going to be able to watch Nosferatu at 12:30. So what I'm doing right now is I'm kind of tracing this out, and then I'm measuring down like an inch. So this right here is the point, but this is where I'm going to draw my line, so I can just kind of like go in. But I'm using the point as a reference piece, the little tiny ones as a reference piece, so that when I do sew in the edges, because what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to flip it like I do with everything else, and then that's what's going to give it its shape. I'm going to do a 1-inch seam, which it seems kind of big, but I want to make sure it stays on and cute. So we're going to do that. After I cut out the pattern, I'll show you what the pattern looks like. I have it on the fold, but I think it's mostly because if I run out of fabric, I have it easily like accessible so that I don't have to use fabric that is folded. I can like easily manipulate any fabric to be able to make a collar piece, because I think this would be a cute little way to accessorize anything. I don't know who is the pattern maker for this. If I could find the pattern maker, that'd be fine. I do know that this is a band apparel collar. I bought it at like a retro store up in Salem, which I did kind of talk about it. It was in 2021, not 2020, but I haven't seen a collar piece like this in a really long time, and I think having detachable collars is just such a fun, easy way to accessorize your wardrobe. Here we are after it's all traced out. I think I may have messed up right here with the pattern tracing, but honestly, I think it can be hidden underneath the seams. But this is what it looks like. I did write little notes on there for myself because I'm going to forget that it's going to be a 1-inch seam. And then I'm going to probably forget that I need to add string. And I'm probably going to forget that I made this a cut on fold, kind of. Probably not as much, but like these ones, for sure. I feel like I need to write more notes, but I think it'll be okay. I don't know what size this is supposed to be. I don't think there was a specific size. I just know that it fits over my cloak. So we're going to cut this out, and then we're going to cut out the fabric, which I'm going to go back and use this black fabric for, because I think that's going to be like the best way to like practice this. I just want to say I'm very smart for cutting it on the fold for the tracing paper, because if you look down here, I don't have enough space for like regular cutting it on fold, but I do have space to spread it out. And that is wonderful because now I get to use my scrap fabric. I want to be better about using my scrap fabric moving on into the future. I have this bad like habit. It's not really a habit. I don't throw away my fabrics, but I just hoard them and I never know what to do with them. And now I have the perfect thing to do it. So this is great. I just rewatched the Nosferatu voguing video last night with my husband. The person, Brandon, posted 15 years ago what the song was called, Release Yourself from Aleem, and I have it saved on my Spotify. It was the last thing I listened to. I thought it'd be hilarious to post a video using that song with my cape heading over to watch Nosferatu. If you get it, you get it, you know? I think it'd be really funny, and I hope other people understand where I'm coming from when I post that, because it's coming up soon. So I'm filming for TikTok and here, and I'm confused on which ones I've done for which. I don't think I filmed enough for TikTok, which I feel bad for, but I can also honestly redo this. On here, I feel like I have to. But anyways, I used some bias tape as the string because I'm pretty sure that's what was used here, except for this is a little bit smaller. I think this is a 0.7, or maybe this is not 0.25, but this is a 0.5. And I'm using it a little bit longer because I like longer drawstrings, and plus I just wanted to use whatever was left. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to attach the string onto the inside here, right here, just like I did with the buttonholes. I don't know if I showed that. I hope I did. But I'm going to attach it into that, and that way I can just flip it over, much like the last one, and then I will have a little drawstring. I'm going to do it around the same place that they did on this one. So at the top, that way it kind of just falls on the bottom. And then that way I can also, because I think what I've done with this is like I found a pin, or like it's not a brooch. I use pins as brooches, but I can just attach that to give it a little bit more texture in the outfit. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do right now. Add the string, do the wrong sides together, and then flip it and then sew it down. Now that I'm thinking about it, I should probably add an interfacing to it. I really don't want to. This is my first time doing it. So I think this is just going to be the test run, the mock-up. That way I can like see what I can adjust. I think I kind of mentioned that anyways. So this is going to be the test run, and if it works, it works. If not, then I can just like move some stuff around and work from there. This one will definitely need to be ironed pretty often. I do have some cloth here. I don't know what the fabric is called, but I do have some here that I could use for future, because I think this is a very similar fabric to this, just different colors. Yeah, different colors. Don't really feel a interfacing in here, but not that you can really feel it, to be honest. But I think they did triple layer it, and I'm not willing to put in that work right now. 1 inch allowance was absolutely diabolical. Like, look how big a 1 inch seam allowance would be right there. I normally go to like 5/8 or whatever this is, like whatever, I can't count. That's insane. I'm not going to use that much seam allowance, so I will be adjusting. So at this point, I am done with closing the seams on the curve and the other curves. And what I think I want to do now is I'm going to keep these seams and see if that helps stiffen up the edges. Because if that helps, then I'll keep the 1 inch seams. If not, it's experimental. I don't think it's going to help as much as I hope it will, but I want to iron down the seams so that I can at least get a little glimmer of hope. I changed my mind. Ironing it is annoying me, so I'm just going to cut the seams and hope for the best. Like I said, I'm going to rewrite the pattern anyway, so it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Looking at this, I think what they did was they added the bias tape after they folded over, instead of doing what I did where I added it before I even sewed everything together. So I'll have to keep that in mind next time, because that kind of flap is not the best looking thing, but it's just for me, so it's okay. Here is the color. I think it was okay doing the 1 inch seam allowance. Honestly, it gives me some wiggle room, and I don't find too much of a problem. It's not as pointy as the other one, but that's okay because I'm like not using a real pattern. Like I literally made it out of this. So I think it's okay for what it is, and I don't think I'm going to rewrite it because I think it worked out. Once I learn how to embroider, it's over. I want to embroider so bad, but I don't think I have the patience for it. But it'd be so nice to have like little patches right here, wouldn't it? Oh, that'd be cute one day. One day. So now I am going to actually, for realsies, do a try on. Oh, I feel like I did something wrong over here. It looks a little bit odd. I may have forgotten to... I did. There's a little point in there that I forgot to push out. Ah! Okay, that's better. You can definitely kind of tell where I had to go back in and cover it up. There's definitely a front and back side now, but honestly, it's the prototype, it's the prototype, it's the prototype. I'm not mad about it. I'm not super elated about it, but I'm not mad about it because this is the first one. I have a new pattern that I get to use more often. So now for realsies, it's time to do the reveal, I guess. I just finished my little try on. Yeah, I just did the video for it. Hold on, let me flip this around so it's not as bright on my face. But, oh, one more time. Here it is, this side, the multi-purpose side, which is very, very, very cute. And then here is the side that I plan on wearing today at the movie theater to watch Nosferatu. I do have to leave like right now, which honestly, good thing that I'm sick because I couldn't do a full face of makeup today. This is just whatever I could put on my face. I am going to wear a mask. I have it right here because I don't want to risk being a super spreader. Let me get the collar on real quick. Here it's the collar with the cape and the cape all together. I do plan on wearing this as a blanket because it's nice and warm and cozy, and I just think it's so cute and I can't believe I finished it. I've wanted a bat cape for like ever since I was like probably like 22, when I learned more about like alternative fashion and that there's actually stores out there that aren't just Hot Topic that sells alternative fashion. And I remember last year or the year before, we went to Universal Studios, and out there they had this store like in their City Walk, and their City Walk had like a Halloween store. It was kind of like our Halloween tribute store, but not really. And they had a bat cape in there, and it was like $90, $100, and I couldn't afford it at the time, and I was so sad. I was devastated that I couldn't go home with it, and I vowed to myself that I would make one myself, and I finally did it. I did it. I made a capelet. I did it. All right, I gotta go. But yeah, I gotta go see my best friend and watch Nosferatu together. Happy day. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that I did this, especially for like an opening day movie. I don't go to the movies very often. I actually am not a cinephile. I kind of only go if I know the music's gonna be good. Also, I've been trying to go out more when I see something that's more macabre. Not horror. I don't really like horror movies, but I do like the darker aesthetic movies, and I figured this would be a good way to get back out there. So, thanks for holding me accountable. I gotta go rush and get out of the house because I'm already probably late. Bye-bye!